Hey friends, it's Misty. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, let me know down in the comments. I would love to say hello. And if you've been here before, hey friend. Today I have 5 gorgeous Dollar Tree Valentine's Day DIYs, including a TikTok viral Pottery Barn dupe. DIY number 1 is this adorable ombre rose heart wreath. Dollar Tree carries these tinsel heart wreaths, and they are super easy to take apart. They literally just unravel. They have like little notches on the sides where the tinsel is just slightly wrapped around. Just keep simply taking the tinsel off, and that little love part on there will come off very easily as well until you have a blank canvas. Using some Dollar Tree flowers, of course you could use whatever flowers or floral you would like. I used 4 different colors and I bought 2 of each color, so that would be $8 in flowers, and I just removed the flower off of the stem. Once you have all the flowers pulled off of the stems, go ahead and add some hot glue just around where the greenery part on the flowers are. I did leave mine on, so I would definitely suggest that you do that as well because they hold the flowers together. But you're just going to keep adding the hot glue onto that greenery part, and I do kind of take the hot glue up one side where the flowers are going to be connecting, so therefore it is connected to the heart wreath form and also to the flower next to it. For each of the rows, I did 2 of each color, so that would be 2 rows of pink, then 2 rows of a lighter pink, then lighter pink, and then I went down to this off-white, really pretty color, and again, just hot gluing those onto the wreath. I used some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope for the hanger, and I just cut it down to size and then hot glued it right to the back of the wreath. I wanted to show you guys how absolutely stunning this wreath is on its own, just as is, but of course I have to be a little bit extra and add a cute little burlap bow. I absolutely loved how this DIY turned out, and it was seriously so much fun and a lot easier than it looks to make. And in the direct sunlight, this wreath is absolutely stunning with those colors. I absolutely love it. DIY number 2 is this adorable ribbon and rope heart wreath. Using one of the Dollar Tree heart wreath forms and 2 of the 8-foot Dollar Tree nautical ropes, you're going to slide the nautical rope underneath the middle heart ring on the wreath form, add some hot glue, and fold it over on itself so that it stays in place. Once the hot glue is dry, you're just going to simply take the nautical rope and start wrapping it around the 2 middle rings on the wreath form, just going into the center, then through the middle loop, and then into the center again. Like I said, you're just wrapping it around those 2 center rings on the heart wreath. As I made each loop, I would push it down and then hold it in place with my other hand, and then continue making the loops with my other hand using the nautical rope. Once you get to this connector piece here on either side of the wreath, you're going to wrap it around in the center, and then you're going to take the rope and you're just going to wrap it around the center heart on the wreath form, and then you will make another big loop like you did before in the beginning, and then you will do just a small loop just going around the center heart wreath form, and then making another big loop like you did in the beginning, and then another small loop, and you will continue doing this until you get to the next connector piece. Then, just like I said, once you get to this next connector piece here, you're just going to simply go back to like you were in the very beginning when you were wrapping the nautical rope around, and you're just going to wrap it around both of the inner heart rings. It's kind of neat how this rope actually ends right where you need it to, and then the second piece of nautical rope that you have, you could literally do the exact same thing on the other side. You could leave it just as is, but to get rid of some of those extra little fuzzies and really long hairs on there, I took my lighter and just simply went around the wreath and just burned those right off. For the ribbon on this wreath, I cut 16 pieces of the Dollar Tree pink burlap ribbon and 10 pieces of the Dollar Tree white burlap ribbon. Fold the ribbon in half 2 times, then go at an inward angle starting from the outside, and use your scissors to cut these to make them into little dovetailed pieces of ribbon. Now you're going to simply fold the ribbon in half, make it a little bit crooked, add some hot glue down at one corner, and then add the two bottom corners together. We will be gluing the ribbons down to the back side of the wreath, so flip the wreath over, then using some hot glue, I used 2 of the Dollar Tree white ribbons and placed those right onto the nautical rope down at the bottom corner. When you look at the wreath from the front, you want the ribbons to be longer than that outer ring on the wreath form. When putting the ribbon on the wreath, you could definitely do whatever pattern you would like, or even all one solid color, but I went in and I did the 2 down at the bottom like I said, and then I went with 2 of the pink, then I switched to just using 1 of the white, so therefore it is 2 pink, 1 white, 2 pink, 1 white, and just down at the bottom and at the very top, I did 2 of the same color. It is definitely a lot easier to actually watch it being done than to describe it being done. You can see here now that I'm up at the top, I did do 2 of the white burlap ribbons just like I did down at the bottom. Once you have the ribbons placed onto the wreath form, you're going to flip it over so that it is facing forward, and you're going to start pushing the ribbons through the outer ring on the heart wreath so that all of the ribbons are going to be in front of that wreath form, and then you're going to move them out of your way so that you can get to that outer ring. I absolutely love this burlap and lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I use it in so many of my DIYs. I cut the ribbons down to 5 inches instead of 6 like I did the previous, but I did dovetail the ends like I did the previous ribbon as well. Loop the ribbon around that outer edge, folding it in half, adding some hot glue, and then you are just going to squish it down with your fingers. Pretty much just pinching those ends together where you hot glued. Again, pushing the ribbon right over the outer ring, adding some hot glue, and then you are going to pinch it, squishing it together down where you hot glued. Do this going all the way around the wreath form, and then once it is completely full, you can make it as full as you would like, so that's why I didn't put how many pieces I technically used, because it is definitely a personal preference. Now you can just fold out those pieces that you kind of squished out of your way, add a cute little bow and a hanger. I simply used some twine for the hanger and just tied it right to the wreath form. And here's how definitely one of my favorite Valentine's Day DIYs turned out. I just love this DIY so much. I absolutely adore the colors and how the nautical rope and the burlap all ties together. I think it just turned out absolutely stunning. DIY number 3 is this rustic heart and bead wreath. So I wanted to repurpose this wreath that I made around Christmas time using all Dollar Tree items and using Christmas bulbs for the beads. And don't worry, I will be showing you how I put the ornaments onto the Dollar Tree hoop to make this wreath. Dollar Tree carries these sparkly foam hearts. I went in with my white chalk paint and simply gave it a nice coat so that you couldn't see any of the pink sparkles. Once you have the heart completely covered, I went in with my antiquing wax and gave it a nice heavy dry brushing so that it wasn't completely like stark white. You could use brown paint for this as well. Again, it does not have to be completely covered. You just want, when you add the Dollar Tree Spanish moss, you don't see any bright white showing through, and it really looks like the heart is made out of the moss itself. I actually bought 2 bags of the Dollar Tree Spanish moss for this project, but it only ended up taking 1, so I mean, how great is that? All you have to do is simply add some hot glue right onto the wreath, then put some Spanish moss on there, then using the Dollar Tree silicone makeup brush. I absolutely love this thing for makeup and for DIYing. You definitely will not burn your fingers anymore because you can just press anything down with that silicone makeup brush. So now you're just going to simply add the Spanish moss until the heart is completely covered. Then I just went in with my scissors and cut off the longer straggly pieces so that it can really bring out the shape of that heart. Okay, so before you guys throw out your Christmas bulbs or pack them away, definitely save a few for this project. You'll need one of the Dollar Tree rings. They have a 3 set, and we're going to use the larger ring. Find where the ring is welded together, then simply bend back and forth, and it will pop right open. If you have already thrown out or packed away your Christmas supplies, definitely hit up Dollar Tree. They are 50% off right now, and directly across from where the hanger part is on the bulbs, you're going to want to place a hole with a hot screwdriver and then cut that hanger part off as well. So now it looks like you have a large bead. And now you're going to simply just start stringing the new large beads right on to that ring, and you do not have to do them in a pattern. This is just a clip from when I made the ring itself during Christmas time. Leave about 4 inches of empty space on the hoop, and then you're going to add some hot glue and use some Dollar Tree floral wire, and I just simply wrapped it around so that the hoop is now back together. Once you have all the bulbs onto the ring, here's what the wreath will look like. Then you're going to go in with the Rust-Oleum Candy Pink spray paint and give this a nice coat so that it is fully covered. We will be adding the heart onto the bottom of the wreath, so you're going to need the 4 inches of empty space at the bottom, then add some hot glue onto the heart and onto those 2 bottom ornaments as well, so that we can hot glue the heart to the ring and to those bottom ornaments. To make it even more sturdy, I added some hot glue onto the back going over that ring and then added some craft sticks on top. You could add in whatever greenery you would like. I definitely think some lamb's ear would absolutely be beautiful on this, but I used some Dollar Tree greenery that I got off of a Dollar Tree pick. I also thought these off-white roses were absolutely beautiful, so I did add one on either side of the heart point. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love this off-white color with that candy pink color. It is just so pretty. Then I just add a bow that I made out of some Dollar Tree ribbon and a little twine hanger. And here's how this absolutely adorable Valentine's Day DIY turned out. Isn't this wreath just darling? I think it turned out so cute. I am loving the colors, and it would be an awesome Valentine's Day gift as well, or even a really cool, fun Valentine's Day craft party project. DIY number 4 is the Valentine's Day bead garland. Dollar Tree carries several different types of these little wood hearts. You could use whatever one you would like. Then I used that candy pink Rust-Oleum spray paint again, and I chose the little heart with the hearts on the inside as well. Then using some Dollar Tree wood beads, I spray painted, actually no, I did not spray paint them. I just painted them with some chalk paint, and then I'm just going to add them onto some jute twine, and I did paint the medium size and the small. I did alternate with the sizes of the beads, going big, small, big, small. Once you have as many beads on your garland as you would like, now you can just add that little heart by tying it right onto the twine down at one bottom, and they do have their own little holes that you can just tie the twine right onto. For the tassel on the other end of this garland, I'm using some Dollar Tree twine. I pinch it down by my pinky, spread the fingers apart, and wrap it around about 15 times and cut off the excess. At the top, loop it around your finger, then pinch underneath your finger, and where you pinched, add another piece of twine holding it together. I absolutely love adding ribbon and lace into my tassels. To do so, all you have to do is cut a piece of whatever ribbon you would like. I used both of these from Dollar Tree, and then you just loop it around that top loop, pinch where you pinched the jute twine before, and then just wrap some more twine around, holding it all in place. To finish off the tassel, all you have to do now is cut those loops in half, and you could dovetail the ends of your ribbon if you would like to, or trim them down. If you would like to dovetail the ribbons, just simply fold them in half and cut at an inward angle. Now you can just take the twine on the other end of your garland, feed it through that little loop, and tie it right on to the garland. If you used twine in this project like I did, I would definitely suggest when you tie anything on to triple knot it, because twine can kind of tend to come loose a little bit easier than anything else would. To cover up where we tied the little heart on to the garland, I simply added a little twine bow. And this DIY is done. I absolutely love how quick and easy garlands are to make. I have one for every season, every holiday, just because they are simply so easy to make. So for DIY number 5, I'm actually going to be making the viral TikTok Pottery Barn Pedestal Bowl dupe using Dollar Tree items and in a Valentine's Day edition. Using one of the large glass vases and one of the garden dishes from Dollar Tree, you're going to use that candy pink Rust-Oleum spray paint again and spray paint the vase and the garden dish or bowl, whatever you prefer to use. Now just add some hot glue or some E6000. I would definitely recommend E6000 for this as well. And you're going to add that to the inside and around the top of the vase. Now place the vase right in the center of the garden dish. And yes, y'all, I got it super crooked the first time, but I got it the second time around, and you definitely want to put some pressure until that hot glue at least dries. Now just give it a nice coat of this Rust-Oleum American Ancient Stone textured finish spray paint, and look how amazing this turned out. I just love how it has that stone look, but you can see that little touch of pink still poking through. I think that is just so pretty, and this was seriously a super quick and easy DIY. And I don't know about you guys, but I love Pottery Barn, just not the prices. You guys, I had so much fun sharing these DIY projects with you all. I love making every one of you happy. It seriously makes me happy to do so. So expect many more DIYs to come. And if you like faster paced videos, don't forget to add me over on my TikTok. I upload there daily, if not several times a day. And also don't forget to comment your favorite DIY so you could be entered into this month's contest to win that DIY of your choice. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching.